everyone, my name is Charlene and welcome to my channel. I hope you take a second to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the fun we have here. Today's video is basically me trying to get ready for the upcoming holidays and getting ready to decorate my home. Just trying to get things cleaned up so I can put all my decorations out in case I have any guests for the holidays. And basically losing my mind trying to get ready for these upcoming holidays, especially because this is the first year I'll be doing the full dinner for Thanksgiving. My grandmother usually hosts Thanksgiving, so we always go to her house, and of course most of us will bring a dish to help them, but this is the first year that I'll be doing all of the cooking on my own. So any tips to survive cooking Thanksgiving on your own, leave them down below because they are greatly appreciated. She recently had a knee replacement, I believe that's what it is, and she can't walk. She's on bed rest for the next 5 weeks, and that's fine. I'm just excited to help her. I'm excited and nervous at the same time. So this whole video is me just sort of getting my home ready. We are still eating at her house, but in case people want to stop by afterwards and just hang out and, you know, have a drink or just, you know, come into my home. And this weekend we're decorating for Christmas. So I'm super excited for that. So this is just me preparing and getting things done. And what we ate this week, I threw in a couple meals in this video too of what we were eating because it was just simple, easy meals. It's really cold here in New Jersey. So I did two or three meals in this video and just getting my home prepared. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave it down below. I hope you take a second to subscribe, and thank you for watching. And if you're interested in seeing what I did this week, keep watching. Bye, guys.
Okay, the first thing I'm starting out with is getting my kitchen clean, wiping down the counters. That way I can cook in a clean area. I'm going to be cooking Wednesday night, and I just don't want to have to worry about getting everything clean. So I'm just wiping down the stove, the countertops, moving things, and getting everything nice and clean. That way it's easy cleanup after I started cooking for Thanksgiving. It is the first year I'm cooking, so I'm a little nervous. Not that I'm worried about cooking. I enjoy cooking. I just never really cook for a lot of people. We have quite a big family, so I'm just looking forward to seeing how everyone enjoys what I make. So in the meantime, I'm just trying to get everything nice and organized and cleaned up. That way if anyone stops by, my home is in some order as much as it can be. So I'm just wiping everything down and getting my kitchen nice and clean. One thing I do recommend around the holidays is try not to stress if your home is in perfect order. Your family isn't there to judge whether your home is in perfect condition. They're there to love on you and to share with you and eat and have fun with you. I don't really think they care too much. Of course your home needs to look nice, but I don't think they're there to judge every little nook and cranny. So I try not to stress over the years. Like I said, they're there because they love you. And I tell my grandmother the same thing. If your home isn't perfect, it doesn't matter. We're not there for that. And it's usually always clean anyway. But, you know, we never think our home's clean enough. But I always tell her I'm there because I love you, not because of the way your house looks. So I just wanted to remind everybody that it can be so stressful and we put so much pressure on ourselves. But the people are there because they love us and enjoy our company. Now I'm moving on to my living area. This area always seems to be the most cluttered. It's because my family always sort of gathers here and we spend the most time obviously in our living room. We have a smaller home and that's okay with me. I enjoy having a smaller home, but it seems to be messier or look messier if there's too much clutter. So I like to keep my living room always picked up, vacuumed, put all the toys away from the dog, shoes. That way it just looks and appears to be a lot nicer and a little more room if there's more people. And the more people, of course, it feels a little more crowded, but if there's stuff put away and picked up, it's not as bad. So I'm just getting all the pillows fixed, blankets folded. I have to find some way to store those blankets. I'm thinking about buying a nice big basket and maybe displaying them a little nicer. And just getting everything put away, shoes, vacuuming. Like I say, I vac every single day until we get rid of these carpets. I'm so excited to get rid of these carpets and put hardwood floor down. And I'm just cleaning up the shoes like always. So that's what I'm going to do here just to make the home look a little nicer. Here I am clearing off our television stand and dusting it. I don't dust anywhere near as often as I should, especially with my allergies. I really should do more, but it's such a, I don't know, chore that sort of just goes unnoticed or forgotten. So I like to do it right before guests come. That way the home looks really nice. And this was very dusty, which is a little embarrassing, but I wiped everything down so it looked a lot nicer and a lot more neat. And this is the warm I've been burning, warm apple pie from Sensationals. We really love it. And here I am just putting away leftover Halloween candy. I was sick and tired of it sitting out on the counter, so I just put it in a plastic baggie and I'm putting it in the cabinet. That way they know what's in there, but I just couldn't have it sitting out any longer. Since this was cleaning over a week's period, I wanted to show you also what we were eating during the week. And I had made a great big pot of chicken noodle soup this week. So these were the leftovers. I usually cook the noodles separately the first night, and then the second night I'll warm the noodles up in it, and this was delicious. And here I am just getting all the dishes put away, emptying the dishwasher, reloading it. One of my least favorite chores, but it has to get done every day. Once those dishes are out of the sink, your kitchen sort of looks a lot better. So that's what I'm doing here. And here I am just wiping the counters down one more time because we had just eaten dinner and I just wanted to keep everything clean, especially because I'm going to be cooking in a few days. And this was either the following day, I believe. We had finished up all that chicken noodle soup, so I decided to make 2 lasagnas. I always have to make 2 of anything that has any type of cheese in it because my husband really doesn't care for it. As a matter of fact, he really doesn't eat cheese at all. So I don't mind. I just make 1 lasagna for us girls with cheese because we all love it. We love it a little too much, but we love cheese. And then I always make 1 for my husband. I've been doing it since the beginning of our marriage. It never really bothered me, especially because I know he really just does not like it. So what I'm doing here is I am browning up some ground beef, so I make him a meat lasagna with no cheese, and I just add extra sauce. That way nothing dries out. He's a little weird. He kind of likes his noodles a little crunchy on top. A lot of people do actually. And I just salt and peppered it, and I did a little bit of garlic powder. I'm trying to cut back on his salt intake. He is a very fit, thin guy, but he was recently diagnosed with high blood pressure, so the doctor said no additional, not too much salt actually. So here we are adding regatta cheese for ours, and I'm just going to season it with a little bit of garlic powder, salt, and pepper. I don't like to over season my regatta cheese because I really do enjoy the flavor of it in itself. Here I am with a little bit of garlic powder, salt, and pepper, and that will be for our cheese lasagna. These dishes are an 8x8. The 1 lasagna is plenty for us girls. I did end up cutting the noodles to make them fit a little bit easier. I never thought to do this till recently, and it worked out perfectly. I used to make quite a bigger lasagna, but it always went to waste, and this will feed us for 2 days. My daughter isn't a huge lasagna fan. She'll eat it if I make her, but it was enough for 1 lasagna, and 8x8 was enough for me and my 2 girls, and then my husband's a little bit of a piggy, so he finished up his too. And without the hardiness of the cheese, it's probably a lot easier to eat. So I'm just layering it up like you would layer any lasagna. I feel like lasagnas are such a foolproof meal, and everybody loves them. I mean, I can't imagine anybody who doesn't really like lasagna, and it's just so delicious, and it's perfect for the wintertime, and even in the summertime it's not a bad meal. So I'm just layering it with regatta cheese, a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and just regular ragu sauce, no meat in this one. This dish is also an 8x8, so I'm cutting the noodles, and I know this one wouldn't be for everybody, but if you have a meat lover who doesn't quite love cheese, this might be the dish for you, so I thought I'd show it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting noodles down, the meat, I added a little bit of Italian seasoning to give it a little more flavor, and I'm just going to layer it, and I just use a little extra sauce so nothing dries out, and I just keep layering it as if I was going to do a cheese lasagna, but I just use the meat instead. I know there's many people that use meat with the cheese. I don't particularly love it, but some people really do, and my husband loves it this way, and I just omit the cheese. And I end up baking this at 350. His only takes about 25 minutes. With the cheese, it takes a little longer just because I like it to be a little more bubbly and brown on top. So mine is about 40 minutes at the absolute most. I think this was about 2 days later. I decided it was time to really tackle my kitchen floor. For whatever reason, my kitchen floor, well, I know the reason. I'm a sloppy cook. I sort of just fling everything to the floor from my countertops. It's something my mom always did as a chef, and I know it's such a bad habit, but I do. I just sort of wipe everything to the floor and then sweep in the evening. But I wanted to mop really good and make the kitchen smell a little bit nicer. So I was really sweeping up really well, getting all that cat food up because she bites the food and it gets all over the place. She like nibbles around her food. She's very strange. And I'm just taking my Swiffer sweeper and really going to town and getting my floors nice and clean. And I believe I used a little bit of my Method cleaner just because it has a nice fresh smell with the combination of my Gain Swiffer mopping solution. I don't know what the name of it is. I just know it's the Gain one. And I really clean my floors really nice. That way they were no longer sticky, and if anybody came over, they'd look nice and clean and shiny. This night was super simple, easy meal. I decided to make air fried chicken. Ever since I started making stuff in the air fryer, I am absolutely hooked on it. I actually am asking for a second air fryer for Christmas because if I had two, I could make all kinds of stuff. I literally make pork chops in it. I've never cooked like this, and I feel like I'll never go back to anything else. It's such a great alternative to frying food, and everything ends up delicious. I've never made something in my air fryer that I didn't love, and I so recommend it. So I'm just taking a couple of chicken tenders. I didn't know what they were at first. Yeah, chicken tenders. And I'm just seasoning them with McCormick chicken seasoning and rubbing it in real well, doing a little bit of garlic powder, salt and pepper, and I'm just going to dredge my chicken, flour, egg, and then Italian seasoning, and I'm just going to put them in my air fryer at 400 degrees. I cook them for 7 minutes on one side, flip them, and then another 7 minutes on the other side, of a total of 15 minutes. If they are a little bit fatter or chunkier, I might do 18, but I don't want my chicken to dry out. I end up doing this in 2 batches, so a tip to keep your chicken warm in between. I put my oven on at 170 degrees, so it just warms the oven up enough to keep the chicken nice and warm for you while you're doing your second batch. My grandfather always did this, and I'm sure many people do. I just thought I'd share it just in case you never knew that that's a way to keep your food nice and warm. We do that around the holidays too, when we have to keep other stuff warm while we're making stuff on the stove top. I think with chicken you can make any type of side. I think it's such a plain meal that you can pretty much pair it with any type of vegetable, any side you'd like, potatoes, scallop potatoes, anything you like. So I'm just cutting up some red potatoes, and I recently discovered online a recipe. You put olive oil and an onion soup pack on these, and it just makes them so absolutely delicious. I used to do an Italian dressing. I would marinate them for a couple hours and then bake them in the oven, which I still absolutely love, but I'm really into red potatoes with olive oil, salt and pepper, and a little bit of the onion soup mix, or a lot, whatever you feel, whatever your taste is. I use a lot because I really love it, and it kind of makes them crispy, and it kind of crisps the onions, the little flakes of onions, and I just love it. So this is how I do it, and I usually bake these 400 degrees for about 45 minutes, and they're usually done perfectly. And again, they just sat in the oven at 170 degrees and kept warm while I was making the chicken. I always do my chicken in a single layer. I never put them on top of each other. I don't think you should, and it doesn't recommend it. And here I am moving on to the bathroom. I had to get this done this day. I wanted the bathroom to be nice and clean. I wanted to get all this crap off the sink. For whatever reason, on my vanity here, it just accumulates everybody's things. Nail polish remover, I mean mine too, powder, everything. So I just wanted to remove everything, give it a nice wipe down, and just put back what needs to be there and put the rest in the cabinet or drawers. I'm going to be lighting my cinnamon and clove from Bath & Body Works candle, and to be honest, I know I'm in the minority. I really don't love candles. I like the way they smell. Some of them aren't the best of there from Bath & Body Works, but I definitely prefer my wax warmer. I just feel like they're safer with animals and pets, but that's just my personal opinion. And here I am sweeping this god-awful floor. It always has cat litter everywhere. I know I have to get some type of mat to maybe catch the cat litter. Even with the lid, she still just makes such a mess. And here I am just emptying my little trash can. I always just replace it with a plastic bag. I sometimes buy the little trash bags, but I like to reuse these. That way I don't feel so bad about getting them from the grocery store. I always try to just use them for another purpose. And I'm just adding a nice thick bag for if we have company and there's an empty trash can for them. This was my actual last day of cleaning. This was actually yesterday. Today's Tuesday, and this was yesterday, which was Monday. So I just wanted to put out some towels. I told the kids to please try to keep everything clean. That way I don't have a lot to do this weekend when we do put up our Christmas decorations. I'm so excited to do that. So I just wanted to finish cleaning up the few things that was left out. Cleaning off this table. This is my mess. And I want to be able to put some decorations on this. I always paint my nails in the evening and sort of just toss my stuff there. I wanted to put those books away. That way I can really decorate this little table and it will look nice and cute. Just keeping everything nice and maintained. Vacuuming, stuff like that today. Just little things around the house, wiping stuff down. That way when I go to decorate this weekend, all I have to do is decorate and put away the few things that need to be put away. So I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope you take a second to subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments or concerns, feel free to leave them down below. I hope you give me a thumbs up, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bye guys.